Hello and welcome to Teleislas News, the most relevant and important information of the day.
The National Police delivered an assessment on the work carried out during the Holy Week.
Colonel Maria Elena Gomez Mendez said that during the Easter Holy Week weekend, the National Police managed to capture 13 people, of which 3 are under house arrest and were found outside their residence.
We managed to capture a person in the Cliff sector when he should be in the Simpson Wells sector, which is his place of residence according to what was determined by a judge. In the same way, in the sector of Davy Hill or Atlantico, we had the capture of another person with security measures that should be in the Cliff neighborhood. He left his residence and went to some neighborhoods where he should not be. And in the same way, we captured a person in the Orange Hill sector when he should be in the Barrick sector.
The police stated that during the holiday weekend, several warnings were issued for the non-use of masks and non-compliance with the curfew.
Here we have issued more than 343 tickets for this weekend only. These were given precisely with the purpose of notifying those who definitely do not want to use the mask or do not want to respect the decrees, particularly the curfew decree.
The National Police announced that they will continue to carry out inspection of people with home detention and will continue to verify documents.
After the natural disaster experienced in the archipelago, in addition to the pandemic that also hit the islands, the economy has recovering little by little. In this regard, the Secretary of Tourism explained the figures for the Holy Week with respect to the number of visitors who choose San Andres as a vacation destiny.
We met the expectation of the tourist trade since there were more than 19,000 visitors in the island during this holiday. The Secretary of Tourism, Sebastián Ospina, gave more details.
Bueno, tal y como lo teníamos pronosticado.
Just as we had predicted, we were expecting between 18,000 and 20,000 tourists for Easter week, and the 19,000 tourists arrived during this major holiday week, who chose our destination to rest and disconnect a little from the reality of city life that comes with COVID issues and its different restrictions.
In the same line, the Secretary mentioned the expansion of the capacity to receive flights from the island at the request of the airlines.
Ha sido un trabajo arduo, fue un trabajo coordinado.
It has been a hard task, a coordinated work with the different airlines who expressed the need to expand the capacity of the island to receive flights, and it was an initiative accepted as part of the economic reactivation of the destination. The Holy Week marked a milestone since the opening of the airports in September 2020 for the economic reactivation and the revitalization of the economy in the archipelago.
It is worth mentioning that the island was receiving between 15 and 16 daily flights, and during Easter week, it increased to 23 daily flights.
And in an interview with Teleislas News, the Secretary of Health of the department announced how the vaccination process against COVID-19 is progressing in the islands.
A total of 4,763 people have been vaccinated on the island. Currently, they are in stage of vaccination of people between 60 and 79 years of age. However, those over 80 years of age can also go to receive their vaccine.
El proceso de vacunación en todo el departamento va avanzando.
The vaccination process throughout the department is progressing at a good pace, despite the fact that during the Holy Week holidays and on Saturday and Sunday, the number of people was low, since there are people who did not want to present themselves at the vaccination points.
The Secretary of Health also informs how many doses have been applied exactly in Old Providence and which have been applied in San Andres.
En Providencia llevamos 2,600.
In Old Providence, we have applied 2,675 doses, and in San Andres, 2,017. This week, we are resuming again the technical follow-up table of the National Vaccination Plan, in which all the actors participate. We are going to reformulate and leave this strategy so that people can come out.
The Secretary states that there is some resistance among the elderly population on the island to apply the vaccine. However, he stressed that the vaccine is extremely reliable and will greatly help to stop the chain of contagions.
And in order to ensure the safety of islanders and visitors, the National Navy carried out flights to the island through the helicopter of the institution.
The National Navy placed the helicopter of the entity at the disposal of the island's security in order to guarantee the health coexistence of the inhabitants and visitors during the Holy Week, which concluded satisfactorily and without impasses or issue, as assured by the commander of the National Navy, Rear Admiral Hernando Matos.
What we wanted was first of all that our visitors felt that our National Navy was developing important tasks for their safety in the areas of the bathers and attentive to be able to detect any situation that was arising. We also made night flights with our national police, especially to be able to identify those sectors where clandestine parties were taking place, violating all the security norms.
The accompaniment to safe harbor of vessels engaged in fishing and maritime transport in the waters of the Caribbean Sea, the constant verification of piers and beaches by Coast Guard units, in addition to the increase of the maritime and land controls, are some of the action taken by the components of the National Army, the Colombian Navy, and the Colombian Air Force, linked to the specific command of St. Andres, Old Providence, and Santa Catalina, in an attempt to mitigate the risk of the island population and tourists during the holiday season.
And now we continue with all information from our sister island of Old Providence. And finally, the authorities were able to control the forest fire between the sector of Lazy Hill and Freshwater Bay in the island of Old Providence. The fire that was reported by the community was active for 2 days.
For 2 days, the fire department of the municipality, accompanied by firemen from Valle del Cauca, Coralina Police, and the Navy, were fighting a forest fire between the microbasins of Lazy Hill and Freshwater Bay. The fire that started around 1 p.m. on Saturday could not be contained until yesterday, Sunday.
That work was done more or less until 8 p.m. to make sure that there was no focal point left. The next day, they called saying that the smoke continued, and we went up there and the fire continued upwards. This was also until late in the evening.
After the fire, in a meeting with the mayor, representatives of Coralina and the National Unit for Risk Management, talks were carried out on an investment to equip the fire department to face forestal fires.
This fire was the most serious of all because when there was a fire in Manchani Bay, they set fire to the trunks of the trees but on the side of the beach. But in this fire, the danger was that it was going up to Lazy Hill and then down to Freshwater Bay.
After a quick evaluation by the Environmental Corporation, it was reported that 1.5 hectares of dry forest were directly affected.
En esa zona, pues, hay faunas asociados.
In that area, there are tasks associated with the ecosystem, which are the black crabs. This is a transect zone with great migratory importance for the black crab and other associated fauna such as the iguana.
The corporation will continue monitoring the area because the alert continues.
Cualquier anomalía.
Any anomaly, new developments in the forest area or any part of the island should be reported immediately to the corporation.
The fire department also asked the community to quit setting fire to the forest because nowadays water on the island is gold.
And recently, the Ecopetrol Group delivered radios to the Municipal Secretary of Agriculture and Fishing through the National Unit for Risk Management to strengthen communications in the municipality.
Transistor radios with solar, hand crank, battery or USB charging were delivered to the Municipal Secretariat of Agriculture and Fishing in order to strengthen the communications devastated after Hurricane Iota passage. This thanks to the Ecopetrol Group that delivered 10,000 radios after the winter wave throughout the whole Colombian Caribbean.
These radios were delivered to the National Unit for Disaster Risk Management by Ecopetrol S.A. We are very grateful to this company because they will improve the communications of fishermen and seniors and of the community in general, in addition to bringing fun and recreation.
These AM and FM radios are also flashlights that will bring light during dark nights. Likewise, the group has been working in the area of reconstruction.
Venimos trabajando en conjunto con el gobierno nacional.
We have been working together with the national government, establishing priority action fronts in the reconstruction of the most affected areas, contributing in this way to improve the quality of life of the inhabitants and boosting the economic recovery of the region.
It is expected that the delivery of these equipment will improve the communication in the islands affected by the winter wave in 2020.
Now it's time for the cultural news here in Teleislas News. For 3 days, the island community had the opportunity to taste different typical dishes and sweets of the island through the Stew Fair Festival 2021.
On April 3rd, the 10th version of the Stew Fairs Festival ended. During the 3 days of the event, there was a good flow of attendees who enjoyed the gastronomy, music, and typical dances of our region.
Well, here we feel really, really good because of government. We get the opportunity to promote the culture, for salt, part of our identity. In this Holy Week, where normally we rest, but also we like to eat with typical dishes, then like with bame, with rondon crab, with crab soup. So it was really, really nice because we enjoy plenty of sweet them. But apart from that, we feel good because we help promote the culture and also reactivate the economy because plenty of women them where normally cook them at typical dishes them, they got long time now will participate. So this Holy Week cultural activity was really, really nice. So we thank all the organizers, we thank everybody who participated in it. So we feel good. We feel good because saying that 2020 we ain't got long never do something like this because 2020 hit the island and hit the world in a rough way. So we couldn't do them type of activity because we couldn't get together in a massive way. Nevertheless, this activity wasn't a massive activity, but it was good because we get a good amount of people who could have gone and also enjoy part of the culture. Obviously, when they manage the different protocols, so the activity is really, really important. We can help build our identity and it help stimulate or motivate young people and learn them typical dishes them because say somehow plenty of cultural things them or traditional dishes them where young people in Harley can make it, like for example the crab soup. So crab soup and different dishes where they motivate the people in faith.
Spaces like these are indispensable to continue strengthening the ancestral knowledge and cultural heritage of our archipelago.
And on April 29th, the International Day of Dance will be celebrated. Therefore, different entities have extended an invitation to participate in this important commemoration.
In the framework of the International Dance Day to be held on April 29, the Ministry of Culture seeks that throughout this month the contribution of dance and its entire ecosystem for the preservation and growth of culture and artistic expression of the country is recognized. That is why under the slogan Celebrate Dance, we can all help to make this special day visible. Island dancers join this call and invite you to participate.
Thanks for this date, we celebrate a great dancer who through time expressed through feelings and sensations what dance is, and that is why we celebrate this important day, which is the International Day of Dance.
We highlight this day because dance will always be one of the most important cultural samples for our department.